Hey, Ray, what are you doing?
I'm listening to some Christmas music, pouring some homemade New England eggnog, and getting ready to wrap presents. I love this time of the year.
And you know we love history and lore on the New England Legends podcast.
We sure do.
So how about we celebrate an old-time New England Christmas like it's 1659 in Boston?
Sounds like fun. How do we do that?
We don't celebrate Christmas at all. That's the year Christmas was banned. Hello, I'm Jeff Belanger.
And I'm Ray Auger, and welcome to the New England Legends Banned in Boston Christmas Special podcast. Wait a minute, Jeff. Christmas was banned? How dare they do that?
Well, to set the stage for this story, we're going to go all the way back to Old England. The Puritans in England were turning violent. The year was 1647, and they had just chopped off the head of King Charles I.
Sounds like the Christian right revolted.
They did, and now they owned the British government. And one of their first orders of business was to ban Christmas in England.
I still don't understand why they would do that. Isn't this a Christian holiday?
Well, historically speaking, no. It's not a Christian holiday. Its roots are pagan, and that's part of the reason the Puritans wanted to ban it. Theologically speaking, there's no reference to the birth of Jesus Christ being important at all.
Are you kidding? For millions of people, it's the only day of the year that they even go to church.
That may be true, but if we look at the Bible, there's only one reference to give us a clue as to when Jesus was born. It can be found in Luke chapter 2, verse 8, which reads,
"And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night."
In the region of Bethlehem, the shepherds laid out with their flocks at night during 3 seasons of the year. And that was
spring, summer, and fall.
Meaning the only season they wouldn't lay out in the field was
winter. The only season they wouldn't abide with their flock at night was winter.
So we can rule out December 25th, I guess.
If you believe the Bible, then yes. But that's okay. I don't always celebrate my birthday on the actual day. And sometimes we wait for the weekend.
I get that. So how does December 25th get to be this big day?
Well, to early Christians, the story of Jesus' birth is not important. Jesus was a commoner. Only royals kept track of their birthdays. Now, Jesus' death and resurrection, that's the big story. Everyone is born. That's no big deal. But dying and returning from the dead, that's the cornerstone of the entire faith.
So, December 25th?
Sorry. The roots of Christmas go back to hundreds of years before Christ, to the Roman festival of Saturnalia. It started out in the rural sections of the Roman Empire, where farmers around the winter solstice would celebrate their harvest and honor the god Saturn.
And the Roman god of Saturn is, of course, the god of agriculture, wealth, and liberation.
That he is. And Saturnalia was a massive 6-day party between December 17th and the 23rd, with the winter solstice falling right in that range somewhere. The idea grew and moved into the city, where it was taken to a whole new level. Society turned on its head for these days. Masters served the servants. Animals were sacrificed, orgies were thrown, and gifts were given.
Sounds like my last house party.
It does, the redneck party, I remember it. Yes, just like that, but for 6 days.
Those early Romans must have been superhumans.
They knew how to party, and that's for sure. So fast forward to 313 AD. The Emperor Constantine issues the Edict of Milan, and that unifies the Roman Empire under one religion, Christianity. But he doesn't ban other religions. He just says Christianity will be the official faith of the state.
So does he ban Saturnalia?
Here's Emperor Constantine's problem. Christian clergy don't like Saturnalia with all of its decadence and debauchery, but it's so popular with the masses. It's wildly popular. I mean, imagine if our government tried to ban Super Bowl Sunday.
We'd riot in the streets.
And I'd be the first to carry a pitchfork. And that's what would have happened in Rome. So Constantine gets this idea. If he's going to sell Christianity and Jesus to the masses, then the emperor needs to stress how important Jesus is. In short, he needs a birthday, just like other kings. Constantine knows there's no hope in replacing Saturnalia, so he tells the people of Rome, here's what he's going to do. He's going to add 2 days to this 6-day party. The 24th will be Christmas Eve, the 25th will be Christmas Day, the birth of Jesus, and now we have 8 days of partying.
Like Hanukkah.
Right, Mazel Tov. Constantine figured, just like a good song, if it sounds familiar, you got a hit. So December 25th, 336 AD was the first Christmas celebrated on that day. And from there, you add in some of the many Nordic traditions of their solstice celebration called Yule, throw in some St. Nicholas and his story, and you've got a gumbo of beliefs surrounding the winter solstice that shape our modern celebration of Christmas.
And it sounds like the Puritans had a problem with all this?
They sure did, which is why the Puritans in England banned Christmas in 1647. They wanted December 25th to be the day of fasting and humiliation in order to atone for a whole year of sins and really for centuries of debauchery on this day.
Well, considering Massachusetts was part of England at that time, I'm guessing the ban would be in effect over here as well, right?
Well, not exactly. The General Court of Massachusetts Bay Colony didn't officially make celebrating Christmas a criminal offense until 1659.
All right, I'm reading this public notice. It says, the observation of Christmas having been deemed a sacrilege, the exchange of gifts and greetings, dressing in fine clothing, feasting, and similar satanic practices are hereby forbidden, with the offender liable to a fine of 5 shillings. Now, it's worth noting that 5 shillings would be over a $8,000 fine in today's money. And how can they call celebrating Christmas satanic?
Well, the Puritans wanted a religious government where all rules of society are pulled directly from the Bible. Given Jesus' birthday isn't specified in the Bible, the Puritans had no place for it.
Now, was celebrating Christmas really that much of a societal problem?
Well, in some pockets, the celebration was spilling into the streets, like Mardi Gras on Bourbon Street. Before the ban, men would dress in strange clothes or even dress as women and go door to door singing carols and demanding food and money from the homeowners. And if the wealthy homeowner didn't give it up, no food, no drink, no money, then they could be subject to vandalism or violence.
Wait a minute, that sounds a lot like trick-or-treating. Are we crossing our holidays now, Jeff?
It does sound more like Halloween, doesn't it? And the puritanical leaders had no sense of humor about it. In 1660, after 13 years of Puritan rule in England, the monarchy was restored and Christmas was legal once again in England. But Massachusetts didn't repeal their ban, not until 1681, and only under pressure from King Charles II did Massachusetts finally lift the ban.
You know, I knew a guy who used to feel this way about Christmas. His name was Ebenezer Scrooge. Luckily, he had 3 spirits to save him from ruin.
Puritans do sound a lot like old Ebenezer.
Those puritanical influences can still be felt even centuries later. We don't let things go easy around New England, do we?
We don't. And though Christmas was no longer legal after 1681, it wasn't recognized as a public holiday either. Schools and businesses remained open all the way until 1856, when the Commonwealth of Massachusetts finally recognized Christmas.
I love how Christmas has survived in spite of all this adversity. I mean, I knew the Puritans were against a good time in general, but I had no idea that giving gifts, eating food with others, and dressing festive was seen as a sin. I mean, it's ridiculous. Those are good things.
It's almost like Saturnalia, Yule, and Christmas are in our DNA at this point. The masses have spoken, and we want those tidings of love and good cheer at this time of year, no matter what religious leaders may say.
Well, I'm glad I'm not a Puritan.
Me too.
I'm glad I'm not a Puritan either.
Well, no matter what you celebrate, we here at New England Legends Podcast want to wish you and yours a happy holiday season. And if you like our stories each week, maybe you can give us a gift and post a review on iTunes. We'd sure appreciate it.
And you can visit our website at ournewenglandlegends.com to check out all of our past episodes, post responses to the episodes, and see photos and links related to what we're talking about each week.
Until next time, remember, the bazaar is closer than you think.